Oh, hello everyone.
Hello!
I feel like I'm going to be making a lot of these current events videos, and I hate making them because they're not fun. It's not enjoyable to talk about bullshit that's going on. I get it. As some of you can extrapolate by my channel name, I have to kind of be careful about how I say things and what I do and all this other stuff. I'm very constrained in my ability to use my First Amendment rights for a little while longer. But the president had some interesting executive actions, and I can't really say much other than the video is in the description should you want to listen to it, and provide your feedback. And that's all I can say. Now, these executive actions are not orders. I keep seeing orders and actions thrown back and forth. From what I understand and what was posted, they're executive actions, they're not orders. In the order of weight in which presidential movements carry, I'm going to say they're right in the middle ground of what the president can do. Making comments on things and encouraging the Congress to do stuff is the lowest level, or press releases through the press secretary.
I'll have to just circle back with you. We can circle back. I'm happy to circle back with you. I can circle back. I will have to circle back on.
Right after that is an executive action. What that is essentially is highlighting courses of action that people can take to execute an agenda. And then executive orders are an order presented by the executive branch that carries weight and can be put in place, such as a ban of importation of things or similar things like that. We've seen plenty of executive orders in the past 20 years. So that should be no secret to anybody, but an executive action is not an executive order. I'm not saying don't panic, and I'm not saying panic. What we need to do is be actively engaged and prepared to counter all of these actions legally through the means available to us, which are currently working just fine. All those House bills and everything haven't gone to the Senate for a vote. They haven't been pushed through. They're essentially waiting for a tragedy to take place so they can do that. However, our pushback is being felt, and that's why those pieces of legislation haven't moved forward. So the stated agenda of this administration is very, very clear. They put it up on their campaign website. There should be zero confusion about the agenda of this administration as far as gun rights go. I'm continually shocked and appalled at people's level of inaction and indifference. And then when something starts to move forward, they panic. It's really annoying. Personally, I hate panic. All it does is distract me from what I have to do. And people that are similarly geared or have that mindset really don't like panic because it's just a waste of energy and time. There's a difference between having a healthy understanding of how something can affect you and respect for its ability to screw you over or hurt you or any of those things versus panic. You want to have a nice, competent, measured, effective response versus, oh, I'm just going to panic and do all this stuff and hope it doesn't affect me. That never works. It has never worked in history. I can cite a million examples. I can make the World War II references all day. If you don't get it by now, but if you're not tracking that they're going to push an assault weapons ban, forced registration, and taxation, by the way, and get rid of private sales, I don't know what to tell you. That's been openly stated multiple times, and the people that they're trying to appoint are anti-gun people, all sorts of stuff. It's really blatantly obvious at this point. This is evident in who the president just nominated to be the ATF director. Now, coming off of the administration, I can now talk about the ATF director nominee, Mr. David Chipman, who I don't like. I have nothing good to say about this man. He is garbage. He's a liar.
He's a conspiracy nut, for one thing. In a recent internet post on Reddit, he claimed that the Branch Davidians shot down helicopters during the Waco siege in 1993. No, they didn't. No one aboard a federal helicopter was shot or injured that day. The helicopters didn't crash.
Conspiracy theorist. He also had a hand in, lied about, and tried to run cover for Waco. Now, I'm no fan of cultists, as some of you remember, through my jokes directed at a certain YouTuber, and I've made that pretty clear. I don't like cults. I don't like what they do to people. I don't like people abusing the Bible or any of that stuff to forward an agenda. I believe that stuff is very sacred, not used as a tool to manipulate people and destroy things. But I digress. Mr. David Chipman worked for Everytown for gun safety. Every single interview this man has done has been hyper cringeworthy. All he wants to do is take your guns. He doesn't take gun ownership seriously. He views it as a problem that needs to be eliminated, and he does not respect the Constitution. The Bill of Rights, especially with Second, I'm even going to throw the Third Amendment in there. Second, Third, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment, he does not care about. He wants laws to preemptively, and these are his own words, by the way, he wants to preemptively arrest people before they commit a crime. He wants to just destroy the rights of the individual and steal your property. I have no respect for this man. Anybody that acts like him, I have no respect for. They're bitch made. They are the worst kind of people, and they are the downfall of any wholesome and good form of government or organization or anything. People like them bring the downfall of anything they touch or have anything to do with. They're the reason bad things happen. And if you're going to be nervous or scared or whatever of anything, this dude is it. Because if he gets in this position of power, we're in a really bad way. Everyone will absolutely be looking over their shoulder for the next 3 to 4 years. And the amount of gun owners that are going to stand up or say no or any of these things are very, very small. So you're going to see empty ranges, which will then make you a target should you be someone who's defiant or not keen on following rules. You will be easily spotted, so it'll create an environment which they want, which is gun owners not exercising their rights, and then the few that do will become a target. It's a really, really bad situation to be in. So what can we do about it, I may hear you ask? Well, friends, my next point is you have to stay engaged, write your representatives, donate to the FPC and GOA. Once again, stay engaged. So with Mr. David Chipman, you can write your representatives and say, this guy is a nightmare. He's done all of these things. He has said all of these things on Twitter. He's essentially just like that other girl they tried to put up and her Twitter game sunk her. We can do that with this guy. So all you have to do, if you want to do something, is find... I'm going to try to get all the links together. I'll probably post them in comments because it's going to take me a while to get all this information. But we need to get his Twitter posts. We need to get those Reddit posts. We need to get all this stuff. Tucker Carlson just did a whole... And you can feel about Tucker how you want. I don't care either way. But he did a whole expose on the guy, 5-minute segment, and he showed the Reddit post where he's talking about preemptive arrests.
But it gets worse than that. In a Reddit post, David Chipman suggested that people who fail background checks should be arrested on the spot. Quote, while at ATF, I conducted studies involving people who failed background checks to determine how many later committed crimes with a gun. Many did. This is a perfect opportunity to arrest people before committing crimes.
And then he showed a few video clips of interviews. So if we can compile that information and get it to friendly senators who are going to be doing this dude's confirmation hearing, you can get that stuff to them preemptively and then they can hit him with it during the confirmation process. And hopefully, just like that other chick, and I can't believe I'm forgetting her name right now, but she's also that unimportant to me. But we can do that if we write our representatives. So we say, hey, this would be a nightmare. This guy doesn't respect the Constitution, XYZ, here are the inclusions, and do all that stuff. And that's what happened initially for the brace regulation suggestions that the ATF did before. There were a bunch of people that wrote their representatives and said, hey, this is what they're doing. We need this to stop. This is what we elected you for. And they stepped in. I know there's a very solid group of us that are like, no more boat accident bullshit.
Oh, come on. Stop whining. Your kids are soft.
There's no more hiding. There's no more, oh, well, I'll just let it blow over and maybe they won't notice me.
It's time now to turn this mush into muscles.
We're stronger together, and we need to unify and assert ourselves. Not be aggressive and not be passive, but be assertive, exercise our rights as, our God-given rights and as enumerated under the Bill of Rights and supported by Supreme Court decisions, I might add. But we need to do all that. The answer needs to be no. All the time. Hey, we're thinking about doing that. Nope. Well, we need you to turn this in. Nope. Well, this needs that. Nope. Every single time. We're done. No more capitulation and no more, well, maybe if we just do this one thing, or, oh, I'm just going to stay out of it, or any of that stuff. No. We're going to tell them no. That's our position from now on. Anytime you hear someone talking about a boat accident, be like, hey, we're done with that shit. You don't be ashamed of your rights. Don't be ashamed of your ability to own things. Like, you spent your hard-earned money that you traded time and a piece of your life for, so that you got currency that you then exchanged for something you have the right to own. That's not something that you're just going to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I lost it. No, this is mine. I can have this. This is how this is going to go. You can't let them beat you psychologically. You have to stand up and be a man, be a woman, be an adult. Like, you can't let them intimidate you out of your rights. We've let it happen for too long. Every time that you sat something out is letting it happen. Anytime you didn't write your representatives, anytime you didn't send money, anytime you didn't speak out against it, that's letting it happen. We need to get in the habit of this, because YouTube is going to axe gun channels next. They've started slowly getting rid of subscribers. They've started slowly getting rid of engagement. They have started banning people that are getting too loud. They're going to do it to gun channels. Anybody that raises their voice about it, anybody that talks about it, has any sort of engagement whatsoever, they're going to get rid of these gun channels. So there's not going to be people reminding you to go do this. You're going to have to do it on your own. It's going to be like the 80s all over again. So you have to get in the habit of doing this. And I can't do it for you. No one else can do it for you. I'm doing this because I believe in it. I don't make a single dollar from any of this. But you have to get in the habit of doing this stuff yourself, and doing it without people telling you or asking you or reminding you or any of that stuff. You have to see something happen and immediately kick into write the reps, make statements about it in social media or whatever, engage people in conversation, and donate to the FPC and GOA. And lastly, to close all this out, take care of each other. We have to be, our brother's keeper in a way, to be lame, but we have to take care of each other. There's people in the gun community preying on other people in the gun community. There's people that are narcs, all this other stuff, and all they're going to do is sabotage everybody for their own personal gain, or sabotage people in the hope that maybe they'll be last, or maybe because they helped, they're not going to get hit. So don't think for a second that you're better off by yourself. We have to be a unified front, and we have to take care of each other. And that's not just with gun stuff. Talked about it before. You have to, you know, maintain your relationships, but also be a nice part of the community. Be an upstanding citizen, as it were. And you have to remain engaged. Don't be afraid to talk to people. Don't be afraid to help people out. Don't be afraid to be seen as a good person. Which doesn't mean, though, being a cuck or being subservient or not standing up for yourself. Conduct yourself as a professional. You know, be a professional person. Be assertive. You know, be a man, be a woman. Be confident in yourself. And be that level of confidence that others would want to emulate. Have meaningful conversations with people. Don't be quick to anger. Don't talk shit. Like everybody talks shit nowadays. All they do is just talk. They don't do anything. It's all conversation and all this other stuff. Don't talk about it, be about it. You know, if you're gonna let somebody spin you up, every time something doesn't go your way, you're just gonna get loud about it. Or anytime somebody brings something up and you just start beating them down instead of talking things out, sometimes you're not talking to convince the person you're talking to. You're talking for the people around listening or the people on social media watching the conversation. So how you conduct yourself is key. Take care of each other and keep improving. Improve where we can. If you are missing things and you have the ability to acquire things, now might be the time to do it. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I would have a few things that you could use in a pinch should you need it. Thanks for watching. Take care out there.